Keep them up, guys. Keep them numbers up, man. We got 36 people in here. 36 people didn't make money with all the products and services we got, unless you're a guest. You know, if you're a guest, definitely welcome, guys. I'm not gonna, if you are a guest, I'm not gonna go into anything too detailed. But I'm gonna give you a basic of pretty much detailing foreign exchange, guys. That way, I feel like anybody who participates in this market, if you just know this skill, this part of the skill set, you can still make money without all the advanced material. You know what I'm saying? So if you were just stuck to what we're about to go over today, I feel like you could still make money. But for many of you that don't know me, my name is Antoine Boatwright. I'm one of the traders out of Columbia, South Carolina. And I've been an entrepreneur and investor for about 2 years, guys, man. It's been an exciting journey, ups and downs, but we're on the up this year, you know what I'm saying? So definitely 2021 came into a better year, guys. But our topic of discussion today is going to be support and resistance, guys, right? Support and resistance, that's the key elements for pretty much the law of the market that the market follows. Now, I get it, guys. There's some professional, traders out there or expert traders, whatever the case may be, that say support and resistance don't exist, right? People have said that before in the past. Guys, you have to go off of something. So even if that may be a true statement, which I don't believe it is, you still have to go off of some type of setting or some type of target, some type of entry for you to actually successfully enter in this market and exit out of this market, guys. And that's normally done with creating support and resistance. Those are the easiest ways to get your targets, your entries, or create your stop loss, guys. But you have to understand that in order to be able to dissect the market, and that normally gives you a better viewpoint of the market by creating these structures in the market, guys. So we're gonna get right into it. I didn't have an idea of what I was gonna go over today. Obviously, you guys know I'm gonna talk about cryptocurrency. We're gonna look at that as well. But what I'm gonna do is introduce you guys to the indexes, the currency indexes. Now, as you see right here, guys, on the right hand side of my screen, where my watch list is at. This is your watch list on Telegram. I mean, excuse me, TradingView. I have the currency indexes. These are pretty much the overall trend patterns of the leading currency. So Euro, Australia, Great Britain, Japan. I even got cryptocurrency, well, Bitcoin specific for these indexes, guys. And you can use this information as somewhat as a cheat sheet. So with you using this, guys, you should never really be surprised about the market, because this kind of gives you an overall viewpoint of what the market is doing. You just have to obviously find those points. And how do you find those points? By targeting support and resistance. So I'm going to use the ECX. Now, we're going to do this on other currency pairs, guys, but I'm going to just use this on the the EXY, the Euro currency index, to show you guys support and resistance. Now, even though we're talking about support and resistance, I have to go with how I process the market, guys, how I understand the market. And normally when I'm doing that, guys, I'm looking at a higher time frame, right? So the reason why I'm looking at a higher time frame, I want to get an overall depiction of what the market is currently doing, right? Now, the higher the time frame, the truer the direction. True, guys, right? That's true, right? So when I'm looking at the weekly time frame, I'm trying to get the overall trend of or the strongest, not the overall. Don't make no mistake. I'm not saying that. The stronger trend, guys. And as we see right now on the weekly time frame, understand where you're at, guys, because again, we can buy and sell in this market. So when I'm looking at the stronger trend, that's giving me way to what the trend is doing on the higher time frame. When I start breaking it down to smaller time frames, I'm going to be able to see that I have the possibility to sell where the trend may be a strong buy, or I have the possibility to buy where the trend may be a strong sell, because those just may be pullbacks that price is coming back to. Make no mistake, guys, the market as a whole, all the markets are bullish, technically, but they have strong pullbacks, which are strong sell positions in the market, guys. So weekly time frame on the Euro currency index right now, as far as from this low to this high, we're in an uptrend, guys. I have to respect it. I have to respect that we are in an uptrend until I see something on a smaller time frame. Now, that's the weekly time frame. When we go to the daily time frame, that's where I decide to create my structure, which is support and resistance, guys. Now, many of you are like, well, what is support and resistance, guys? Now, when we create those zones, there's a reason why we even have it as support and resistance. One being is why. Make no mistake, understand this, guys. I get my audience to interact with me, because for me, how I learned how to trade was interaction. It does no good to just be on calls and not try to, if the educator allows you or the trader allows you to speak, and not try to challenge your brain to answer these questions, guys. You need to try to do that. So entertain me, guys. Now, resistance is at the top, right, of the market. No matter what, any top that's created in the market, that's resistance. So it's all over the place. But right now, we're starting from where the market is currently at, which is our position right here. And we're snaking our way back to get the information we need to see what the market is about to currently do, right? So I have my resistance level up here, which is my ceiling of the market, guys. So, and I'm gonna give you a depiction on how I actually understood this, guys, because make no mistake, when I first started this, I did not understand it like most of us. All right. So support. Now, I'm gonna give you what these areas mean, guys. And let's kind of label it with the actual colors we're probably looking for. Support, you're looking for buy zones, and resistance, you're looking for sell zones, guys. That's the reason why we even need to create our support and resistance zones, because we need to know what area I'm going to buy at and what area I'm going to sell at. Now let me label this real quick, guys. Is this not letting me label? Oh man, it's this one. Give me a second, family. Sorry about that. So let's do this one. Make it more visible. So we know this is a resistance zone. So resistance. Resistance. Ceiling. Sell. If you want to put that, guys. If you want to make that easier on yourself, resistance. Ceiling. Sell. So you know that any form of resistance is the ceiling of the market, and these are sell zones that we're looking for. So down here, buy zone, support structure, pretty much, guys. And you know, you'll find that you can create these zones anywhere, guys. Understand, you're looking at the stronger movement. So right here, I always start from where I'm currently at, guys, work my way back. As you see right here, this is a support structure right here. And when this line merges all the way back in the past to these other days, you can see it created a support structure. So yes, I've had people ask, well, why don't you put it right there? Because I care about where the market is at currently. If I need to extend it down, or when I start breaking it down to smaller time frames and it looks like I need to start moving my support down to create a structure where it's like, oh, okay, this looks like a better support zone. I care about where the market is at currently. I'll make my adjustments as the market gives me more data, because that's all it is information, guys, for you to use. So right here, we have buy zones. You have your floor. I'm sorry. You have support, floor, buy. So these are areas that you're looking to buy, guys, correct? Support, floor, buy. Let me move this over to the right. Okay, now that we created it on a daily time frame, we now have pretty much a boxed in area, or what like a lot of traders like to say, we have now price trapped. I'm a price action trader, so I just use information. I just use information that's exposed to me, and then use other resources such as news to kind of make my determination on what the market is currently doing. So we're not done yet, though. This is resistance and support on the higher time frame, on the daily time frame. So as I start going to smaller time frames to try to make a decision on what the market is currently doing, I now have parameters on where I should be patient enough to wait for the market to come to these zones and then make my decision off of there, guys. So as you see, I went down to the 4-hour time frame. Perfect, guys. I still have a level of resistance. I still have a level of support that I can see on my screen, because sometimes when you go down to the smaller time frame, you won't be able to see your daily support or your daily resistance, depending on where it is. So probably if we went to that other low, like I was showing you guys on the daily time frame, probably wouldn't see it on our picture on the 4-hour. See that? So no worries at all. So don't, oh man, I don't have my, what you do is you create another level of support that you can use. We now have a lower area of support if price may want to come down here, and we have a level that price pretty much did a failed retest. To me, this looked like the last retest for price to actually pull back up. but that just depends on what price wants to do. Right here, we're kind of in no man's land. The safest space for you to actually probably enter would be at another resistance level. So we now have another resistance level on the 4-hour time frame. Cool, right? Now we have parameters on where we can actually potentially look to enter the market, guys. We just have to be patient. And I would even go so far as to say, well, this is truly, until proven otherwise, that this is a resistance level, guys. We now have a resistance level where price created liquidity. Now you're on a 4-hour time frame. Right here, just off of your depiction, you would have to say that, man, price was selling. Price was selling, creating what? And we got to talk about this, creating structure in the market, guys. So here you have is this high point again, and prove this to you guys. This is why I'm talking about that when you're looking at support and resistance, if this is all you knew, you can make money in this market. If that's all you knew, man, all I do is wait for it to come to support and resistance. Is it going to be spot on every time? No. Is it probably the safest way to trade? Absolutely. Because guys, as you see right here where I drew this level of resistance, did price not start selling? When it goes down, it sells. When it goes up, it buys. Did price not start selling? Oh my gosh, another area. Now, we obviously created these parameters when we had this data, but looking at this, it's like, oh man, another area where price rejected. So I would have to think until it broke this high, that price is continuing to push down. Now, here's one thing that I want to illustrate too, guys, when you're looking at that. Make sure the currency strength is matching what you're seeing, what you're saying, because that can cause you, nobody's going to be perfect or be right immediately in the market, guys. You're going to start to see more data that you're going to actually need that might change your overall bias. But look, euro is buying. Like we said the stronger trend. So right now, euro, and I don't like this website. I actually recommend Currency Heatwave. That's an app that you can use, guys. And I want to see the numbers on that before we actually move forward, because that gives you numbers based off of 1 to 10. I don't like Currency Strength Meter because it's just bars and you always have to reload it. So it's not giving you live time, but it's still a good resource. That's where I started, guys. But I want something a little bit, I feel comfortable, is a little bit more accurate. So let me look at the numbers on it real quick. Euro. See, man, that stuff is, that's exactly why I don't like it, because you can be misinformed. So euro actually, which I'm gonna just talk to G, and we're probably just gonna promote Currency Heatwave, guys. Very good investment, one-time fee of like $19 for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? After like your 30-day trial or whatever the trial is. But euro actually is showing a 3. So how the numbers work, guys, if you can see my screen, it's pretty much like a gas meter. You know, it's range from 1 to 10, 1 being the weakest, 10 being the strongest. So anything below 5, which would be your middle point, that is actually giving you pretty much like a neutral zone. And then anything above or below that, that's where you have your weak point or your strong point. So when the currencies reflect that, they should be moving in the direction of that market. So like, for instance, euro is selling. We are seeing that euro is pulling down, right? Correct, guys? So we should be seeing that. Anything that's happening, it should be representing it. Now, that's not saying that when news comes out, that's what you got to look for. News comes out, it's not going to switch this market, guys. You know, I don't want to get too deep into that, because again, I want our topic to just be support and resistance. But that's just something that you guys should have to look out for, because again, I don't like referencing this source, and I clearly showed you guys that it's weak, but it's showing us that it's strong. Now, again, because this is a website, the data has to catch up. That's why I prefer Currency Heatwave over that, guys. So it's weak right now. We have another level of resistance, which actually would give us a lower high, another lower high. Is price going to continue to sell, or is it going to pull back up? Now, at that point, we can move to an hour time frame and then look to enter on like a 15-minute time frame. Let me look at you guys' questions, because I think we have questions in there. Lost sound. My sound is fine, blah, blah, blah. Support is the buy. Yes, support is the buy. Got it, blue, black line. That's what features. How do I get it? Got it, blue. Okay, so this is EMAs, guys. I mean, excuse me, indicators. This is indicators, guys. I actually don't have the explanation behind them. I use them, and pretty much you can go on your indicator tab up here, click that, and then just type in EMA. moving exponential average, or if you're just doing the moving average, you type that in and you find the parameters. If you don't know what the parameters are, which pretty much they're 50, 10, 3, or if you don't know what you're using yet, I wouldn't put it on just now. I would try to understand what it actually is, guys, before you actually start using it. But yeah, that pretty much gives you, it pretty much gives you another confirmation to see what the trend is of the market. As you see, my 50 is about to cross my 10, and it's already crossed my 3. So the market, if it continues like this, it should be what? Pulling down, like we said, because we actually have resistance points that the market started to sell in. Now, again, I look at the overall like picture, guys. That's why I said that when we're looking at, you know, the strong trend, that's not saying that the market is still going to continue in that direction right now. It could still be pulling back to what? A better buy zone, or what do we have down here? Another level of support. We have support right here. We have support right here. So price could very well be pulling back here. But again, we have to wait for a price to show us a little bit more data and do something more accurate to get that information, guys. So let's see what the hour time frame shows us. All right, resistance. Now we have a new support structure, as you guys can see that now, right? Very good support. I actually like that. Now, what is price going to currently do from here? Here's where, now that you have this information, guys, here's where you start making your decision. Now, a lot of people rather wait for the patient move. You know what I'm saying? And the patient move after you created your parameters is you can do it two ways, guys. There's nothing wrong with how somebody trades. Most people are just certain about the pathway that they choose. So they just go in one direction, but don't limit yourself. I used to do this all the time, guys. Now, what I would do is that I would create another parameter where I would feel comfortable, because I would be patient to wait for the trade. So if I'm buying, and this is how you save yourself from, you know, hurting your account by playing the patient game, guys. And trust me, it rewards you. Now, the only thing is you can't be greedy about your pip count. You need to understand what currency pair that you're in and how it moves. So the amount of pips it moves on like an average time frame, depending on what session it's in, right? So if we were looking at a buy zone, right? If we were looking at a buy zone, which to me, at this point, I don't think it's buying, but we were looking at a buy zone. The best thing we would have is that since it's already at a support zone right here, we would buy right here. If not, we would wait for the retest. Now, here's where you save yourself, because even though you're looking for a support, even though you're looking for a buy on a 1 hour time frame, what happens if it does this? You still buying? No. So you have to give yourself an option, guys. You have to give yourself an option to say that, okay, man, if this thing retests, maintains this structure, maintains, or what we like to say is reject this structure, I can still buy. I can still buy here. But if it closes below, if I take a candle, like one of these candles right here, guys, and you have to identify the close below. Nobody can identify that for you, guys. So if it closes below, I'm probably waiting on the retest to sell. You guys see that? I'm probably waiting on the retest to sell, because again, this is pretty much no man's land. Our parameters are at a resistance level or at a support level. So it's already bullish, right? It's already bullish. The leading person would say, hey man, I'm looking at it to be bullish, right? I'm looking at it to be bullish, but we've already seen zones where price has actually broke, retest. There's probably a high, oh, there goes the high right there. Broke. If we do have a buy, we probably have a buy to retest, then bring that thing down. So even if somebody was to buy from here, as long as you understood your parameters, which it would be, yeah, that wouldn't have been a bad move. So even if somebody was to say, you know what, I'm gonna buy right here anyway for 30 pips. You know what I'm saying? On a standard, that's $300. That wouldn't have been a bad move. Your target would be what? Another level of resistance, guys. So when you're looking at your target zones, your entry zones, you treat support and resistance as the same. Okay, if I'm buying on this zone, or am I buying down here, my next level should be another resistance level. So you look to the left or you look above and find that information. So for instance, if price was already down here, we needed another level to buy at from down at this support, guys. I would be looking at, knowing the pip count, you know what I'm saying? I would probably be looking at another low to come to, depending on the pair. So if it was like Euro USD, right? I'm probably not looking for 92 pips immediately. So I'm probably looking for something a little bit more closer, because Euro definitely is more volatile than other pairs, but it's not moving like hundreds of pips, within, amount of minutes, probably moving it within like a couple hours. If it is moving 100 pips at all, guys, that London session, that's where it's going to actually take flight. But, just being here, guys, if you just knew this, that's all you would need to actually create an analysis and enter in the market. Now, by explaining that, what we're going to do is go through pairs and use this information to actually create a bias in the market, guys. So I don't know. Somebody throw out a pair. I wasn't even looking at a pair. Somebody throw out a pair. No indices, just regular Forex pair. Have you been in a Euro AUD trade all day from the harmonic scanner? Let's look at that. Euro AUD. Euro AUD. Let's look at that. I'll look at GJ too after this. How come I don't have Euro AUD? Euro AUD. That's weird. Okay, where you at? Euro AUD. Look at that. So what was the bias on Euro AUD? I mean, what was the harmonic scanner telling you to do? And Euro trade all day harmonic scanner. What was harmonic scanner telling you to do? Was it telling you to buy or sell?
It was saying buy, and it's still in the red.
Now, harmonic scanner, 88%. That other, what is that? 26? I mean, 16. That other 16%. I mean, no, 12% messes you up, guys. So, right now, let me look at it. Let's look at it. Let's actually do it. So this entire movement is ranging, guys. And the one thing that I want you guys to start looking at is look at the best setup that's actually going in like up and down trends, right? So right here, this move, you're in consolidation or ranging, and that's going to drive you crazy because it's like the market's moving up, the market's moving down, not really making a decision to go anywhere. You're going to lose your mind, guys. Now, for me, I always add in, I always just automatically see a potential what am I trying to say? Potential trend pattern. And that. All right, so we're on a daily time frame. Let's create our support and our resistance levels. So just off the daily, this is our resistance right now, right? This is our resistance, and I'm gonna draw up these zones, guys, because this is just how I trade. I'm not gonna do it how we did it on the index, but that's where I started from. But you have to understand what these zones mean, or like what you're waiting for when price gets into your zones versus like just waiting for the level. So daily time frame, we got. All right. So we pretty much track price within this zone, guys, right? So any position in the market, price could be making its way to come up, come down, whatever it's deciding to do. Now we need to go to the 4-hour time frame. Create another level of support and resistance. We already pretty much have it right here. Well, I'll do it from where the market's at because that wick kind of really doesn't count. And let me create my level. Again, I know there's a high up here, but I start from where we're at, guys. The market is right here. And if I work my way all the way back, this is the first resistance point that I meet. True, we have a high one, but I'll worry about that if price starts giving us the data that we need. So, okay, we have our zones, right? We have a support structure, strong support structure. Then we have then we have a resistance structure. Can't really tell a lot that's going on besides that sell, guys. So now that we're on a 4-hour time frame, strong. You guys mute your mics, please. If you don't mind.
Oh, one or the other.
All right. So if we look at it, the trend line has been in an uptrend from here. Definitely creating strong structure. We have a support zone down here. My only thing is that when I start looking at this stuff, I'm looking at potential where liquidity could be met at. Because to me, this isn't a strong enough support zone. Well, I guess that's the push up. I just feel like price on the hour time frame will want to at least come down here and fill in this wick. So I honestly think that Euro AUD is still selling. I honestly think it's still selling. It would have to break pretty much this high for me to say that it's buying. Man, let me look at this. Well, the trend has been channeling up. It's definitely been channeling up, but how it broke that, we don't have enough information. So here's one thing that I recommend, guys, is that when you're looking at a pair, right? So you don't be limited to just viewing that pair and be utterly confused or like, I don't know what's going on because right now it's in a strong range. One, you have to have the willpower to say, I'm not going to take this trade. This trade doesn't look good enough just to be making an analysis to say, hey, it's going to do this because we're pretty much nowhere. News comes out, brings this thing up, for the buy that you're looking for, or news comes out, or news just doesn't come out and the market decides to continue selling and it needs news to actually bring it back up. We have a support structure down here on the hour time frame. I would actually think that the market would actually come down and fill this out before actually pushing up. But from here, this definitely looks like a very strong support zone. And we got more liquidity down here. I really feel like the market would want to claim this before actually putting it up. But let's compare other euro pairs to it. Okay, downtrend. All right, downtrend. Downtrend. But this is euro NZD. So we got a downtrend with the potential to do what? Return back to the area that it broke out of and then fall down. Let's look. Let's keep looking. So that looks like it's buying. So this is how we'll play this. Now for the best risk to reward, I'll put my stop like a little bit below. 30 pips. If it does decide to pull up, it'll probably be here. Again, this is a Forex pair, guys, so I'm not looking like a whole lot of movement. You don't want to try to load up on these pairs. I mean, for the short amount of tips that it moves. So you don't want to be trying to hold these pairs. You just want to get your money and get out, guys. I mean, to be honest, because that's how indices work. You get your money, you know, you spend less of the time and then you get out. So, oh yeah, and that was by, man, that's crazy how I be doing that. And that's by bank number. We're going to go into that later on. All right, so 62 pips. So you got a 2-to-1 ratio. What we're waiting on is price at, let's do it. Yeah, let's stay above this wick. So we're looking on a potential buy. But, if price breaks this high. The way I'm looking at it, guys, to be honest, man, you know, unless news triggers, which we haven't done that, I see this thing still coming down, but that's why we wait for the break and close above. That could either be on the 15-minute time frame, that could be on the hour time frame. If we're looking at the hour, you want to look at the hour time frame for that break and close above. Let me set my alert just in case. Euro. And let me push this out to you guys. So if we get that, we can take it. That does make sense to me. So I am somewhat agreeing because I am looking at the Australian dollar to be weak. So guys, what you need to do is pull this up on your own web browser. So that way you have this information so you can create these parameters on TradingView yourself. And you could pretty much navigate your trade by yourself without me pretty much being there. Again, price doesn't have to go straight to our target. So for some of you that are somewhat of a swing trader, stop trying to hold a trade forever and you're already up $50, $100, and then you let the trade come back to entry, or God forbid, stop you out because it's like, you know, it's going to turn around. Don't be that guy who I used to be waiting on the trade to turn around and you could have just took your profit, or you could have just closed out on a losing trade. Now, I do want to illustrate something for you guys on another pair. Y'all said, somebody said, GU? What was the name of the app you were talking about? Currency Heatwave. Currency Heatwave, GA. GJ. Let's look at GJ. I'll do that. Let's look at GJ. All right. All these things are crazy. Now we're at a level of resistance. This thing never came back to my buy limit. Clean this chart up. Now, here's something that I want to illustrate to you guys, and we're going to do this. We're going to do this right now using support and resistance. This is a very good way to show you. Now, for you guys that may be confused about support and resistance still, understand when you look at market structure, look at it as a building. When we say market structure, we're identifying that to pretty much like a building, right? A building has a floor and a ceiling. And this is something that I used to use that actually helped me. It did. It helped me a lot. You know, so I'm sorry if this offends anybody, but, you know, sometimes keeping it Barney style is the stuff you need to be like, aha, you know. So when I was identifying market structure, it took me a while to get it. So I was like, man, what is market structure? You know what I'm saying? You hear somebody say it and it's like, what is that? Well, the market is always creating floors and ceilings like we talked about. But to give yourself a depiction, and this is what I exactly used to do to kind of see, because again, the reason why it's so important to draw this illustration is that this gives you the idea that, oh man, the market only created one level of support, and then the market created like 3 levels of resistance. 2 levels at a price range, you know what I'm saying? So like 149 to like 148, 900, you know what I'm saying? like that's a price zone, you know what I'm saying? And that price would probably come within that parameter. So within that price zone, guys, you got to see if the market has constantly been there a couple of times. So right here, as you see right here, 1, failed, 2, 3, right? The third touch from the second touch is normally the momentum booster. So price tends to, on the third touch, be not the breakout, but the move that's going to kind of tell you where the market is going to currently go. So if price starts pulling back here, we probably need a fourth touch for the breakout, and then it'll pull that thing down. If not, fourth touch would be the breakout up here. We're currently at the third touch right now. So from here, price has a decision to make. Is it going to just blow through here, or is it on a smaller time frame created a touch, a fourth touch to actually bring the market down, guys? If you're confused about that, guys, go on the Academy where it talks about support and resistance. It will pretty much clear that up. Now, here's what I want you guys to start doing if you do have trouble identifying support and resistance. This is the easiest way that it helped me identify it, and it's Barney style. And you could do this all over the market, guys. I've done this all over the market, so I'm not telling you guys anything that I didn't personally do. That's a house, correct? Everybody see that? Let's change it to orange or something like that. That's a house, right? So a house or a building has structure, right? You know, it has a ceiling and a floor. Obviously, this is upside down because the market was pointing down here. So I only have one level of support down here when I drew this illustration, as opposed to 1, 2, because this is failed. I mean, unless you really wanted to count it, but this is failed because I'm starting off of here where this wick at, because this was the highest point. So we have 1, 2, really we have 1, 2, 3, 4, because I forgot you got to count this. My bad. So we do have 4 touches, guys. We do have 4 touches. If price actually decides, because there's a reason why I drew it like this as well. We only have 1 level of support, 1 level. Yeah, if we bring it back here, we have 2 levels, but we don't have a 3rd level. So if price wanted to decide to take off, it should come down and fill this support structure before actually taking off or, you know, continuing to push down. Everybody agree with that? Y'all see what I'm saying? So you can do this across the market all over, guys. Find your structure zones, okay? And it starts with support. So what you want to do is find where the support is at. Right here is support. And then you want to create your parameters on what makes sense to you. Now see how easy that is? Oh man, what's going on? Now, when you're going through the market trying to figure out where are my support and my resistance zones, just draw houses, man. Ceiling, floor. Upside down ceiling, or floor, upside down floor, ceiling, or vice versa, because what is resistance becomes support. What is support becomes resistance, guys. Y'all got that? So now let me look at, oh, we got GJ. So GJ, the way it's looking, it's been playing off this resistance zone pretty heavily to me, because this is the leading, this is the push down, and it's been respecting this a lot, guys. I'm thinking that it may want to come down and fill in some liquidity, if not fill this in all the way. I doubt we'll get a move where GJ actually like falls. What is that? How many pips is that? Like 200 pips or something crazy like that. Yeah, I doubt we'll get that move. You know what I'm saying? The best thing is that price will probably come down here to fill in these wicks, and then go on from there. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Since we identified that, let's do our check block. So it's been bullish, it's been super bullish, weekly time frame. All right. Well, we do have our support structure. I don't really count that. That's 2. I push the market up. We have wick rejection up here. Wick rejection kind of tells you if the market tends to if it's a super long wick, it'll probably come up there to fill that before making this descent. If it's small wicks, that's kind of giving you you know, feel that price is probably rejecting that strong and getting ready to go the opposite direction. But I don't want to just do that off of what we're seeing, guys. I want to see what currency heat wave is saying. Where is it at? So right now, the British pound is super weak. It's at a 3.57, and the yen is still weak too. The yen is at 4. So it's closer to 5, which means it should be stronger. Let's look. Well, from here, it's currently bullish on that daily time frame after coming down to what? Do we have a level of support that we're at? Man, it is. It pushed up, so that's the level of support. Oh snap! We may have an inverted head and shoulders, guys. On for you guys that kind of spot that, you may have an inverted head and shoulder on the yen. Now this is just the yen. This is just giving you what the currency may be doing on par with the currency strength, guys. The currency strength meter. So yen. Y'all see that? If it decided to do it, I mean, it looks very nice. The only thing I don't like, guys, is that we have these gaps in these indexes, and I don't really like how these gaps play out. But yeah, that that definitely looks like this thing could decide to pull up. So let's do that, guys. So if that's the case, the GBP should be getting weak then. Again, let's look at a correlation, guys. Right now they're showing strong strength, but I don't believe that. What did we say? Weak. Engulfing candle could pull back, then bring the market down. GA would be going up because Australian dollar, I know, is weak. Falling down, probably coming back. So here. GBP Swiss franc bullish. I believe that because USD Swiss franc is bullish. That's in no man's land. Came from a sell. Now let's look at all the other yen pairs. Pushing up. AJ's pushing up. Well, that's probably gonna push up. So we're probably gonna get a push up somewhere here before price falls down. But again, I'm gonna play. Well, let's do this. Let's do this. T6 125 150. So what I'm looking at is a possibility of price returning back up here. What I'll do is I'll also create another zone. That'll probably cut our profits like in half if price decides to respond the opposite way. What we'll do is have our stop a little bit above this. I'll do 38 because that's what I'll do. 38. One five one 400. Yeah, I like that. So what we're gonna do is a sell limit right here, guys. Two pips, sell limit. Yep. I'm gonna do a sell limit right there with the with yen being so strong. All right, so next I'm gonna go into is cryptocurrency, guys. I was looking at that. Looks like Bitcoin's heading back to our zone. Now, here's the one thing I want to show you guys that I've been following. I've been following the BLX. The BLX, which is the Bitcoin Currency Index, right? Also, I definitely recommend, this is just the recommendation. You investing in Dogecoin. For you guys that haven't, you can purchase it on crypto.com. That's an application, and I think Binance, I'm not sure, but also Litecoin for you guys. So many of you feel like you probably missed the move on cryptocurrency, right? Drop a 7 in the chat if you feel like you missed the move, like just because Bitcoin seems like it's at a bajillion dollars, right? A lot of you guys feel like that. So with that being said, you didn't miss the move. What you need to do is start looking at other cryptocurrencies that have some steam to it. So what Bitcoin did, it just highlighted what the possibilities for cryptocurrency is, right? So I like that. I'm glad. I'm thankful for that because all these other cryptos that people been ignoring that now people are heavily investing to, they're going to start booming. So you didn't miss the race yet. You just need to find one that do your research. Does it have some type of volatility behind it where it's like you can start seeing some returns? All these cryptocurrencies and altcoins, you can see a return, but it's like obviously the better bang for your buck because you got freaking millionaires being created just by buying. Like, I think who was the guy that he bought Dogecoin for like 600 and then he made like half a mil or a quarter of a mil, something like that. I know the word million was in there. So as you see right here, guys, this is the index for Bitcoin. It updates periodically because it is a daily time frame index. And the last move we had was this bearish move. Now, if we go on Bitcoin, are we seeing that same bearish move? We are seeing that same bearish move, guys, right? So it looks like the data hasn't caught up yet. And what was selling, it came back up. So for me, I'm actually still looking at Bitcoin to potentially fall, guys, only for a better buy position. That's the only thing that I'm looking at. I don't think that is done because I have a zone right here that I think price is going to respect. If not, come all the way back down here, potentially, guys. It's been playing out the same scenario as you guys see: high, low, push up, high, low, push up. But I think this is one of the scenarios where because price made a extreme drop, even clearing this low, I think what it's going to want to do is fill this support out before taking off. If Bitcoin does show signs of coming back down here or showing signs of coming back down here, I would tell you to buy crazy, like in your investment portfolio, and definitely, find a position to buy it in the market. But it comes down here, man, start funding that account, start funding other cryptocurrencies, because obviously, if you guys know, Bitcoin is the godfather when it comes to cryptocurrency. So if it moves, it commands these other currencies that have the dollar attached to it to make its way up. So as you see right now, Bitcoin, from what we're looking at, it looks extremely bullish. It does look extremely bullish right now. Look at Ethereum, bullish. Look at Ripple, bullish. See what I'm saying, guys? Bullish. Now, they're both heading to areas of support, of resistance. So crypto, and what I look at is Bitcoin first, and then I start looking at the other coins. So they're all heading towards a level of resistance, guys. This thing meets this resistance, what is it likely to do? It's likely to reject. We don't know how long, you know what I'm saying? It could be for half of 50% of this candle, or it could actually take this whole movement out, guys. At this point, we're kind of in no man's land, because again, this thing is consolidating. The only information we have is that price dropped aggressively and then came back up super fast. When that tends to happen, that kind of makes me worried, because it's like price, especially on the daily time frame, it's like price filled that liquidity area way too fast. So for me, I think that it'll either come back and collect a percentage of that, if not 100%. If it's 100%, you're probably looking at what, like an 8,000 pip drop, 4,000 pip drop if it decides to pull back. And it's returning to evening star. Evening star solidify that prices pushing down. Now, is it continuing to move off this evening star? What it likes to do is come back up and collect a percentage if this is still valid. If not, it'll pretty much blow past this, guys. So right here we have strong buy levels. Right here, one, buy. But once we get up here, this is where, or anywhere in this zone, this is where it starts to become, are you still buying or are you selling off, guys? I'm actually just skeptical, just off the technical analysis basis, guys, not what investors are saying. I'm not going into the details of news, but when I look at stuff that hasn't been collected, like there's money down here, right here with this long wick, there's money. No doubt, when you start seeing price break these levels, it's coming down here, guys, whenever it decides to make that. For example, people probably thought that price was leaving this. People are probably like, oh man, sold. Once you got that next move, people are probably like, oh, I'm good, right? And this is, again, the market repeats itself over and over, guys. Not saying it's going to do exactly this, but when I identify stuff like that, one, I know price is going to have to fill that liquidity. But look, it filled a percentage and then did this. Okay, all right, we good. We buying. Oh snap! Hold up, wait, hold up. All right, we buying again. All right, we good. Hold up, no, we not good. I'm confused. Oh man, probably took somebody out right here, yo. Took somebody out. They probably didn't even take their profit. It probably came all the way back down, guys, because there is liquidity on these wicks. We're not going over wicks today. I just did that on, I think that was last week that we did that, guys. It's on my YouTube. So this information will be filtered on my YouTube. If you have my social media, that's where you will find my YouTube, guys. And we talked about that. We talk about how price loves to fill in liquidity. These pretty much wick points, guys. This is money that the banks or investors ran away too fast, and they're going to look to collect that. When you see it a long one like that, they're going to look to collect that eventually. It doesn't have to be 100%. It could be a percentage of it, guys. But I'm actually looking at cryptocurrency to maybe come down to this support zone. If not a little bit lower, 100% of this, and then from there, I would say, oh yeah, get your buy thumbs ready. But again, we just go with what the market shows us, guys. Don't be the one to try to predict what the market is going to do. Just follow the data that you have in front of you. So the data right here from this high point, it's been bullish. I mean, excuse me, bearish. It's been selling, guys. We have another resistance zone. Let's kind of do it on this. Resistance. Did price not sell? Okay, let's come back again. Resistance. Did price not sell? It did. Are we coming back up here to meet this resistance, or is this actually our new resistance right here? Here's the thing. If price starts falling from here, comes back up a little bit, starts falling, you know this is your level of resistance. And the farthest thing you can at least take this thing back to is down here. Anything breaks above this, it breaks above this, guys. One, don't be the one to jump in the market if it breaks above and it's like, oh man, it broke above, let me enter in. There will be some type of pullback. So if price breaks above, expect it to pull back a little bit farther and then buy up. See what I'm saying, guys? Plain and simple like that. Like I'm telling you, if all you knew was support and resistance, somebody could have bought just off of these lines. Like guys, just off of these lines. So example right here, before this happened, you had this data, right? So somebody maybe saw this and was like, let me see if this is a strong support structure, right? Oh. And this is what I do. I draw a line and I start looking at the information to the left of me. Is this actually, now remember, we're right here, guys. Where we at? We're right here. So, oh, I mean right here. So now that I'm looking at the support structure, because act like we didn't have this yet. We didn't have this information yet. The only thing we had was pretty much this candle, this bearish candle. Ignore the rest of this, right? So if I'm looking to define, is this a strong support zone? Yes. Yes, this is a strong support zone, because as I go back and look into the past, which is, you know, a month ago, 2 months ago, a week ago, a day ago, I'm seeing strong support. The only thing is price when it goes up, is it ready to take off? Because of how many touches it did. Really, I look at this as 1, 2, 3. That was your fourth touch because the market just flew from there. So this was your fourth touch to bring the market up, guys. See how fast that went away from there? It's going to come back and collect that. I don't care what you say. It's going to come back and collect that. But as you even go deeper, where it's like, okay, say I missed the move. Say you caught, say you were the person that jumped in the market and the market was already up here, right? You're like, man, dude, Bitcoin looks like it's about to buy. I missed that thing. That's because you're seeing it like this. You're seeing it like, man, that thing is already going. Okay. There's two things you can do. You can wait to catch a pullback for another level of support, so you can start breaking it down to a smaller time frame, start finding those levels of support and resistance, right? If you're confused, turned it to a line chart. Okay, all right, things are starting to look better. Okay, I have a level of support. If I wanted to get in to buy this on the 15-minute time frame, what do I have to do? Somebody answer that. What do I have to do? Somebody drop it in the chat.
Wait for the retest.
You have to wait for that retest. Yes, you have to wait for that retest. So let's see if we actually got that retest we need. Let's go inch. Okay. All right. Because I found a level of support. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's bad. Well, nah, I mean, it just depends on what your stop loss would have been, because obviously, guys, we know that nothing is picture perfect in this market. And that would have been, yeah, that would have been an acceptable stop loss, because this is only 90 pips. I tell people, like, you need to have 150 pip stop loss or a 200 pip on Bitcoin. It sounds crazy, you know, if you're using high lot sizes, but if you're using 0.01s, it's not crazy. What is 100 pips? If it hits your stop loss, that's $10. So if you double that, that's $20. If you triple that, that's $30. You should know what you're losing before you enter this market. So even if you did do it and bought here, it's like, okay, all right, you know, didn't hit, went in the drawdown, didn't hit my stop loss. Cool. I'm back in profit. It's messing around, it's fooling around. So we went in profit for X amount of pips until the market decided to do what? Trying to see where it's returning at. All right, we good. That was the return. So even with you waiting for that pullback, yeah, you went in the drawdown. We can't get over that, but you made your money. Exit. 182 pips, guys. 182 pips. And how would you have known to exit from there? You'd have just found a level of resistance, guys. Just literally, if you want to play it safe, if you see a wick, that's a level of resistance. Cut the candle in half and then get your target here. So if you were to enter saying like, oh man, I think this thing is gone because I looked at it on the hour time frame, expect the pullback. Obviously, you know, you're not going to be picture perfect, so have an acceptable stop loss, guys. But here's the thing. Say you missed all that and you saw it doing this. What do you have right here? Somebody answer that. What do you have right here now? Now that price has returned all the way down here. What do you have right here now? Now to retest, think of what we've been talking about the whole time. Think about what we've been talking about the whole time.
A new level of resistance.
Not resistance.
So,
Support, correct.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Cynthia.
Cynthia, let's go, let's go. Let's go. Yes, a new level of support. Once you had this information, you said, oh man, dude, I missed Bitcoin. How many of y'all are tired of saying that? I missed this move. Look at the information that you have. And again, you can only do the best you can, guys. So it's like, okay, it created one level of support. If I know anything about break and retest, Price loves to show you what it's going to do and then retest the area to actually go in the direction that you're looking for. Did Price retest the area? Yes. Not to mention, you could have looked to the left and was like, okay, Price went away from here, failed retest. This is a failed retest because it didn't actually come back to the true structure. So Price said, I left liquidity down here because guess what was the true support? Right here. If you had a buy limit right there, oh my gosh, you would have been the men's, you would have been the queen. You could have had you could have had a 50 pip stop loss and been straight because you identified support and resistance. Not to mention seeing all these wicks down here, but you have to be acceptable with what your stop loss or what your risk level is going to be. But I'm telling you guys, if all you knew was support and resistance, you can make money in this market. Too easy, right?
Quick question.
Looks like a lot, but too easy. Say that again.
I got a quick question.
Yes. Who's speaking?
This is Zach, man.
Oh, what's going on, bro? What's going on?
Been, man?
Good, man.
I did. I wanted to know. Do you have specific days when you look for the market to move more in Bitcoin? And if so, like, kind of, what's your bias towards that?
Well, there's not really no specific days that I look at crypto, to be honest, because I look at crypto as an entirety. So even if I'm looking at Bitcoin, I'm looking at other pairs to see what the correlation is. But it's crazy because the weekend, not that it gives me my best overall bias, it tends to have enough calmness in the market for me to kind of figure out what direction the market is going. So in all honesty, I've had some very great days, like starting off on Friday. I'm not saying that that's where you got to start, but I don't have a real day where it's like, because when the market is open during the week, I'm looking at cryptocurrency less, but I'm prepping for the weekend. So if I would have to say just off of my experience, what I've actually been doing, it has to be like Thursday, Friday, where I start looking for moves, because those moves transition into Sunday, which you could be ready for. So I would say, you know, if I'm just given a day, Thursday, Friday, going into the weekend, because again, you have that calmness in the market. I mean, it's aggressive, but it's way less aggressive than it is during the week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, appreciate it.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it did. Appreciate
it. Okay, awesome. But yeah, guys, so I'm looking at, I'll probably look at it some more, see if it fills this, because this definitely looks like the start of a potential head and shoulder if it was to come back up here. All that makes sense to me. So if it is, that's cool. We'll be able to do that. If not, I can see this thing closing below here because we've already have the resistance point that it sold from. This just looks like a liquidity grab or a retest to collect, a percentage that the investors gave out to actually bring the market down. Oh, also, guys, use this website for my crypto lover. I mean, everybody should be using this website. Everybody has Coinbase, correct? If you don't have Coinbase, you need to get with your upline. If you're a guest, you need to reach out to me personally. If you are a guest, guys, I will tell you that if you are looking to do this, you need to get back with the person that invited you on this call. We open this up to kind of show the community that what we do here is real, and that anybody, no matter what type of background, can become a profitable trader / investor in this market. It's for me, guys. You're going to have to connect with me, and then we can get you started with this to kind of show you and guide you through the realms of, investing in cryptocurrency, building your own portfolio, things like that. But if you're in the business, you need to get with your direct line or your direct sponsor that brought you into business. Now, how many of you guys have even seen this? And I'm going to finish this up, guys, and we'll be done. How many of you guys have ever even seen this, interface? Anybody?
Yeah, it's Coinbase Pro, right?
Coinbase Pro. Has everybody seen this before? Or just pretty much answer with a 7. If it's like, I've never seen that a day before in my life, I don't even know what you're looking at. I don't even know what you're looking at, dude. Okay, awesome. All right. What Faith? What? No. This must be a different Faith. This can't be the Faith that I know. Guys, so this is kind of like a cheat sheet, but you don't need to stick to it. So everybody has access to this if they have their own Coinbase, regular Coinbase and Coinbase Pro. You can't access this on your phone. How you access this is on the website, so you have to type in Coinbase Pro. You have to, it has to verify your computer because this is pretty much security based, they try to keep your information protected. So what it'll do is they'll send you an email. Send you a verification to your email. You'll have to accept that to authorize your computer to pretty much access information because it has your live information on it, guys. I don't have nothing in my Coinbase Pro. I use other outlets, so y'all not going to see no money on here. Maybe like 12 cents that I probably left over. You know what I'm saying? But so I am not an expert in this, but I got shown this by Curtis Cobain, guys. And as you see right here, this is trade history, right? And what this trade history is orders coming in at specific prices, guys, specific prices. Guess what? The size you can see the lot size, guys. So all these lot sizes are under a standard, not a lot. But then when you go over here, guys, you can see more people coming in. Now, these were the moves that already happened. These are the incoming moves, guys. So when you start scaling through here and you see in the price, and you'll start to notice it, you guys will be like, oh snap! Somebody put a 19 lot size on at such and such, kind of giving you an indication that, okay, there's a lot of liquidity being thrown towards sells. There's a lot of liquidity being thrown towards buys, and you can choose. As you can see, this is kind of giving you a scale. Now, I don't want you guys to say that this is the correct information. I want you to use it on top of your analysis. Do not come here first and you ain't create a bias because you're going to play yourself. I promise you. When you're seeing this in, it's like, okay, all right. And the volume is super bearish right now. Y'all see that? That doesn't mean it's going to stay, but the volume is super bearish. We just had another lot size come in, guys, and you can change the parameters on here on what the lot size you see. 10 lot size. So that's the biggest you can see. That's not to say that people aren't throwing higher, but it's giving you pretty much, so anything a 10 lot size, you'll see that somebody just threw a 5, and these are standards, which you're looking at. No, these are above standards. So if it's a 10 lot, look at that. Somebody just do a 21 lot on a sell position at 57,770. 57,770. 57,770. Okay, so it must be where the spread is at on the high to low. So Bitcoin is still probably actually up here. Somebody just do a 21 lot size, guys. So no doubt when you start seeing the market move in that direction, it's like, oh, this stuff makes sense. But again, don't get wrapped around about like the lot size. Obviously, still do your analysis, see what the market is showing you. And that doesn't mean this is infinite. That doesn't mean like, oh man, this volume is big. This thing is about to go all the way back down to 30K. Like, no, man. It could just be selling, you know, again, guys, short and long. Understand what selling and buying means. Understand what short in the market and long in the market means. You always buy longer than you sell. So when you create a sell, you shouldn't be, yes, you want to go to a support structure, but you don't want to be selling for long. So it may not go to that support structure. So it's like, keep that in your head that when you're selling, you don't want to sell infinitely. You know what I'm saying? You always are buying longer than you're selling, guys, unless price is literally wrapping itself to collect 100% of the move that it gave out. And the only pairs that I know do that like at a fast rate is crypto and indices. So, you know, US 30 NAS, oh yeah, they love to do that. Oh, I gave you 1,000 pips. I'll come right back and collect that thing because you didn't want to close out your trade. But yeah, guys, oh my gosh, a 32 lot. What are these people doing, man? Like, yo. So again, if the market reacts, you can see. So you can see like, okay, man, somebody's throwing this. So when the market gets around here and it's ready to sell, it should take off. Not for like, you know, 80,000, 4,000 pips. But again, you can still catch the sell. If you're a scalper, you would love that. You know, I'm selling for like 100 pips. Bitcoin moves 100 pips, guys. So for people that trade on a 0.1 or a standard, every time Bitcoin moves, you're making $100, guys. If you're in profit, you're making $1,000. Why would you need to go any more? You know what I'm saying? How many people are making $1,000 every day now or every other day? You know what I'm saying? If you're not, use the ability of pips to your advantage. Okay, you know, I got money, you know what I'm saying, right? But I'm not a very profitable trader, but let me use the pips to my advantage. Okay, Nick Gomez threw out, or Picasso threw out a buy for you know, Bitcoin. Okay, I got maybe 10 grand in my account. I'm not trying to make $1 million. Let me go ahead and throw a 0.1 or a standard, knowing that if it hits my stop loss in the opposite direction, I may lose, what did I say? 150 pips. So if it moves, yeah, 150 pips, I just lost 1,500. That ain't that bad with 10 grand. To gain probably more, because you know the gains are going to be more. But if I just wanted to limit myself, 100 pip move, $1,000 on a standard, $100 on a mini, I could just do that trading crypto. You don't have to with cryptocurrency, guys. This is why Nick Gomez always is like, yo, put your stop at break even. It doesn't move in the conventional sense of foreign exchange. And when that happens, people get mad because it's like you're looking for $1 billion, not realize, or a billion pips, not realizing the market just gave you 200 pips, but you don't even know how to read the market in order to discern that. You see what I'm saying? So we have to understand that. So if it's like, yo, I'm up $20 on Bitcoin, I mean, Bitcoin or Ripple, and I'm on a 0.01, the market is up 200 pips. That's a lot of pips to be up, especially like on Ripple, for the market not to come back and collect some type of liquidity. Understand that. Yes, you have the moves where it breaks out and it's just gone like 4,000 pips. Oh my gosh, what happened? But we have to be patient enough to wait for those moves to play out. If not, scalp the 100 pips, because Bitcoin, I mean, cryptocurrency moves 2,000 pips easily, guys, and has a slower response time until when it's gone compared to like indices. It's like, man, that thing is out of there. But you know, don't want to hold you guys up, man. Appreciate it. You know, well, first of all, does anybody have any questions? I know we went over a lot of stuff. So going price. Yo, I feel you, Tyler. I feel you. Yeah. So appreciate you guys. Anybody that's on this live on YouTube, man, please subscribe to my channel, guys. I will definitely have more content in the future, man. I think each and every one of you will be back here Wednesday at 7 p.m. next week. And you know, be great, guys. Be great, and God bless, man. I'll see y'all next week.